Hey everyone, my name is Andrew, and as some of you might know, the Teen Choice Awards just ended about half an hour ago, right now as I'm filming. If you watched the red carpet starting at 5 o'clock like I did, you saw all of our favorite YouTubers from Tyler to Andrea Russett, O2L, Hannah Hart. Hannah Hart was so adorable as always. And you also had people like Nash Greer who looked at the ground and said, I don't know, 20 times during his interview, like, I don't know. But surprisingly, there was no Miranda Sings, which I didn't know that Caylen is on tour in Scotland right now. There was no Grace Helbig because she is on tour with Hey USA, and there was no Lohanthony, which I thought was weird, and no Andrew Lowe, so the Fab Five weren't even there. We were a little bit misled as to the amount of presence our web stars would have on the show. They invite all these YouTubers to the awards and then they don't even show them on the actual program. It's kind of sad. They obviously realize the power of YouTubers getting their own viewers, but weren't trusting enough to get people who have no idea who these people are involved. So they kind of kept them on the outskirts and thought, well, we're going to nominate them for all these awards, but we're not going to show any of them on the actual stage. And then they thought, well, we can't just show none of them, so let's show one of them. Let's show the bare minimum. So as you all know, Tyler Oakley and Bethany Mota both won Teen Choice Awards, which is pretty amazing. As Tyler said, go Team Internet, and how important it is that anyone watching can start their own channel and make their own videos as long as they're creative and have a camera. They kind of cut off Tyler a little bit because Bethany talked for so long, but he basically got to say what he wanted to say, and I'm sure he'll be putting stuff on Twitter later. The hosts were great, Tyler Posey and Sarah Hyland. Tyler Posey was a little more energetic than Sarah Hyland. I think he might have been sponsored by Red Bull or crack. I don't know. The first award of the night, the Kardashians won, and Kim and Kendall and Kylie went up, and Kim kind of just held her surfboard like, oh god, now I have to deal with this all night. I mean, that it is kind of a burden, but she was kind of like, Everyone seems to be hunching over at the mic, like, really awkwardly. I don't know, they could just raise it up a little bit. And the award that they didn't show that they just announced, O2L won. Does that mean Connor gets a surfboard? Because he's technically not with O2L anymore. Troy and Tyler won for their collaboration video. So Tyler now has 2 Teen Choice Awards. Zoella won. Shawn Mendes won for his music. All in all, it was a pretty good night for the web stars that they kept talking about, but didn't seem to want to actually let participate. We had Cameron Dallas presenting for some reason, which was okay. I had Jake Fushi as the announcer, which in my opinion was absolutely brilliant. Whoever his team is behind him, his manager and press people, are absolutely brilliant to even mention that as an idea. That's pretty amazing that they got him that job. During the ceremony, Carter Reynolds tweeted, Teen Choice Awards are rigged. He didn't seem to think that when his friend Shawn Mendes won, but when someone else wins who isn't in his direct friend zone, he thinks that something is rigged. When it obviously wasn't rigged, obviously the people who had the most subscribers won. And then he tweeted, but congrats Tyler Oakley. And then his next tweet said, psych, like he was not happy that Tyler won. First of all, you can't say what you want about people in your own industry, because later on down the line, you're probably going to have to work with them at some point, especially in a world as small as YouTube, where there's only about 100 really big people who are working and getting deals and endorsements and being invited to conventions. And if one of those places offers something to Tyler and Tyler says, well, Carter Reynolds I saw is doing it, or Nash Greer is doing it, or Taylor Caniff is doing it, he can say, I don't want to do it because I don't want to be associated with them. And in the end, who do you think they're going to keep? Someone from Vine, Carter Reynolds, or Tyler Oakley, who now has 2 Teen Choice Awards? So everyone in the YouTube community needs to watch what they say about each other, because it can have a big effect on your career. And I think that people like Carter Reynolds are going to realize soon that you can't just say whatever you want. Of course, the fans are going to be like, it's a free country, he's just expressing himself. Well, yeah, it is, but if you want to have a career, you can't say whatever you want to say. Something else big for Team Internet, which Tyler said tonight, was Grace Helbig, formerly of Daily Grace, now of It's Grace, is getting her own pilot show on E! Network. This is huge because she's kind of taking over for Chelsea lately. She's going to have her own talk show. A pilot means that they do one episode to see how it tests, so it's super important that everyone in the YouTube community watches that and talks about it and gets the buzz out about it so that they will make the rest of the season and seasons to come. The only thing I am worried about is the fact that she might leave YouTube to pursue other things once more people get a hold of her and see how great she is, and she's already down to 3 videos a week instead of 5. So I hope that doesn't go to 2 or 1 or 0. I also hope that they allow her to bring some YouTube people on as guests, because that will be a really great thing for everyone in the YouTube community to get more exposure and on a national level like she is. Overall, this is a really great week for YouTube in general and internet people in general who believe that there is power in the internet and people can get things done on the internet. That's all for this video. Subscribe and tell your friends and add me on Twitter and Instagram, and I'll see you next week.